Hey everybody, today I thought I'd run you through what it's like exploring and some of the things that go along with it. So, it can be fun, especially when you find something, but you don't necessarily always find something. A lot of the time, you're going to spend hours, countless hours, and sometimes even days without seeing a single thing. A prime example was from about a month ago. We spent 3 whole days exploring between the bunker group and land, trying to find isolated, out of the way bits of structure that could hold fish. I lost count how many drops I did like this one here. You'd see something on the sounder, swim down, and all it is soft corals, a little bit of gravel, and some weed. Lots of weed. There is virtually kilometres and kilometres of this stuff between the bunker group and land. Just nothingness. Looks good on the sounder, there's just nothing there. But that doesn't mean you give up. If anything, it means you work even harder, because there is so much sparse ground that when, slash if, you find the pressure point, a lump, a little bit of stag coral, there's going to be something there. So, we get up, we get back in the boat, and we drive around some more, and see what we can find on the sounder. So many hours of just looking and looking and looking, but it does pay off in the end. Even after 3 days of nothingness, it does pay off. So we kept looking, and on the 3rd day we finally found something that had potential. So went down to have a look, and this was a pretty good example for all you listening and watching, if you haven't gotten bored yet and gone to sleep, of just how small an area it needs. Now this ledge is maybe 2 meters long, and it's only about 200 millimeters high, but there's a slight undercut, and just you can see the fish life that's there. There's trout, there's hussar, there's surgeons. There's more than enough fish here that you could have shot to get a feed, but it's best to leave them alone, because if you shoot a few fish and they spook off these very small bits of structure, the large predatory fish that you want to get another day just aren't going to be there. So if you have a look at this, you can see just how flat and sparse all the ground is everywhere around it, and then there's just that tiny little bit of ledge, and that's where all the hussar are congregating, and because the hussar are there, the surgeon are going to be there, and the trout are going to be there, and then that's when you come back and check this another day and get a big red or a big reef jack or something really good, because you left it alone. But this showed a lot of potential to us, so we just kept circling and circling in this area, and eventually we found something really good. So we kept looking around that area, and a couple of kilometres away we tricked over another little lump on the sounder. Pulled over, Brad stuck his head in as we drove past, and he saw a lot of surgeons, so we thought it was definitely worth getting in. And it was great. One of those bits of structure that you put up with the 3 days of nothingness just to find. This ledge was about 50 metres long, from end to end, running across the current, so the current was hitting its face, which is always good for a bit of structure. And it was undercut, it was well undercut. There was tons of areas for fish to hide from predators and get out of the current and sleep, and it had good fish. Above the ledge there were schools of surgeon and smallmouth nanagai, and in under the ledge there was your hussars, your reef jacks, there was some reds, tons of big red bass, there was parrots, there was even a humphead wrasse hanging out down one end of the ledge. There was even these delicious little squirrel fish which the Hawaiians go mad for, but I didn't shoot one today because I saw a tasty treat hanging out under the ledge, just that real ugly jaw, and I thought, I could go a nice mangrove jack for dinner. And since I hadn't shot a fish in 2.5 days, my finger was getting a bit itchy. And I had tiny shooter, and you know tiny shooter's always fun to shoot fish with, particularly in under ledges. And because I had kind of overexerted myself doing so many checking dives during the last few days, I was diving a bit weird. Some would say lethargic and tired, and I was kind of forcing myself. And the good thing about diving with someone who knows you really well is they can see when you're not exactly diving like yourself. So here you'll see my dive buddy came down to meet me on the way up, because he saw my body language was all a bit funny. And when he saw that I was okay and going to make it to the surface, he went down and just grabbed the fish. Well, not the fish exactly, but the rig line, no, the reel line, and kept it from getting back down to the reef until I had breathed up enough that I could go back in. And you will be surprised when you work as a team, the amount more fish that you're going to land. It's incredible. If you're out there on your own, just watching your own back and trying to be, oh look at me, I'm the best spear fisherman ever, I'm going to shoot all the fish all by myself, a lot of fish are going to get away on you, because no one's watching your back, and if anything bad does happen, you're on your own. Whereas if you make a good group of mates, and you dive with them together, and you put up with the 3 days of exploring, you never know what you might find. You could get some epic little structure, and some nice fish. And hopefully this shows you that with persistence, you find something out of the way, something untouched, something nobody else dives or hopefully knows about, and you can get some really good fish. And regardless of if you do get good fish, even if you just go down for a look, you'll be surprised, or maybe it's just me, but the sense of happiness and joy that I derive from finding something that I don't think anyone else knows about, it's exceptional. Like,
I could swim.
We were so stoked for the next, the rest of the day. I'm still stoked from this ledge, and it's been nearly a month. And the other distinct advantage of always moving around, always exploring, always trying somewhere new is you're not going to decimate the fish off the areas you're diving. You're not going to kill them all. And it's unfortunate, and it's true, that particularly as spearfishermen, certain species, if you keep going back to the same marks again and again and again and again, you're just going to wipe them out. The fish aren't going to be there, they're not going to come back, they're going to work out what's going on, and they're going to bugger off. So I highly recommend exploring, and I hope that after you've watched this, you get excited and you go out and you start doing some aimless driving around where you don't think there should be any rocks, and looking, because you're going to enjoy yourself. It adds a whole new facet to spearfishing, not just going out there and bang, 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 bang. It's something else. And you'll also find that over time, the quality of your fish will vastly improve. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And if not, then just go get yourself a whole bunch of WA bush and calm down. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of video, let us know. I may do some more. If not, I won't. Catch ya.